To me, Final Fantasy XII feels like a game that was trying really hard to be way more than it achieved. The job board is genuinely one of the cooler skill trees I've seen in all of video games. Your character is allowed access to 2 different jobs throughout the game, where you can pull skills from each one and you can create a dual-classed character. The gambit system is also super cool. It essentially allows you to automate your 2 other party members by giving them if-then statements as if you were programming. For example, your healer can be automated to always cast Cure after a party member goes below 50%, or you can have your DPS character cast Berserk to double their attack power after already loading itself up with other stat boosts through an if-then programming statement. So start with Haste, then give it Protect, then give it Shell, then give it Berserk. The very large open world, along with the long list of side quests you can get from the hunt boards, it feels like it's a game that you want to sit down and play for months at a time and really get comfortable with. And as much as I like the mechanical system in 12, it never really made me feel like I wanted to explore it and get really deep into it, or really explore the world, or really play any of the side quests, because I was mostly playing it for the story, which I did not like. The story of Final Fantasy XII is a Defeat the Empire, which is a classic Final Fantasy story, but the characters and the actual plot beats, they just kind of fell flat to me. And I think that's not the game's fault. There was a lot of problems with the production behind the scenes, but that doesn't mean I'm going to give it a pass. And I just don't really care for it. I think this is a game that people will like playing. I think as a video game, it is a very solid product, especially for people who really like to play open world games, who like having these long checklists, completionism stuff. I'm just not that guy. One more thing, Final Fantasy XII takes place in Ivalice, which is a setting that is actually reused in multiple different Final Fantasy games, such as Tactics, Tactics Advanced, and Tactics Advanced 2. If you like characters in those games, you might find some characters that you recognize in 12. My favorite representation of Final Fantasy XII is Balthier and Fran, mostly because I like the idea that the way you describe the mechanics of the card flavorfully is that Balthier pilots and then has Fran take over, and I think that's sort of what you're supposed to get, and I felt really proud of myself for figuring that out all on my own. Why'd I do that?